If you're thinking about relocating and moving or living in San Diego, California, I want to share from you with experience the 8 things I wish I knew before I made the journey myself. What's up guys, Mike Cuevas, you're a real estate dude with Big Block Realty, and what we're gonna be chatting about on this video is some of the things that when people move here to the San Diego area or anywhere in San Diego County, some of the things they're generally surprised about. And what I could tell you from firsthand experience is that I made the move myself and life here is entirely different from where I came from, which is Chicago. And I'm gonna share with you 8 of the things that I wish I would have known. Number 1 is don't be surprised if your house doesn't have air conditioning. Yes, that is correct. When we first moved here, we rented a house, we had a landlord, and I saw the little viaduct on the ceiling, and I'm like, oh yeah, and it was July, so it was hot. I'm like, all right, babe, why don't you go ahead and turn on the air conditioner? And we turn it on, we're waiting for the heat to blow out. I call the landlord up and I'm like, hey dude, your air conditioner's not working. He goes, bro, it's totally working. I was just there and that thing's kicking. Landlord comes on over and he takes me upstairs in the master bedroom where we had 1 window unit. And he's like, look, it's working fine. I'm like, no, I'm talking about the viaduct, the vent right there. You don't have air conditioning? He's like, no, dude, we live on the coast. Nobody here has air conditioning. When you're on the coast, you live close to the coast, a lot of the houses that side are not going to have air conditioning. It's honestly quite normal. Today, we don't have air conditioning in the house I'm living in now because we do live closer to the coast. However, when it gets hot out, you just open the windows and you get that nice coastal breeze. So if you are like an air conditioning person, you always need that house cold, look for houses that have air conditioning in them. That is something that you're gonna be shocked at. I know I was before I moved here. Okay, thing number 2, San Diego weather is not hot. Yes, now you might actually have done more research than I have. I was shocked to learn that after I moved here that you can't go swimming 24/7, 365 days a year. I thought I'd be hanging out with the kids in the pool in like December and November, and January, but it's actually gets to be a little chilly at that point in time. 60 degrees, which regardless of where you're coming from, once you live here for a couple of years, trust me, 60 degrees gets cold. My friends today from Chicago make fun of me and they will make fun of you too. One of the shocking things I learned when I got here is that the water is freezing, like all the time freezing. This isn't like Florida, Miami water. You go in there and you're like, oh, this is so great, it's crystal clear. The water is dark, it's not crystal clear, it's not pretty. The beaches are very pretty, but you can expect the water to be freezing any time of the year, especially in the winter, okay? So this isn't like this hot weather all the time. The temperature is only gonna average 65 to 75. It's pretty much like that every day. In the wintertime, more towards the 60. And in the summertime, you will have a couple hot months, or a hot month, I mean a couple hot weeks, and that's typically all it is. Number 3, if you like sports, you will not like sports anymore once you move to San Diego. They don't have sports here. As a matter of fact, they got rid of the Chargers right after I got here. They tore down Qualcomm Stadium, super angry, but I'm a huge Bears fan, White Sox, Chicago Bulls. Don't be surprised if you start like not watching as much football or not watching as much baseball. Maybe that's a good thing because you might get your ass outside some more. At least it was for me. Number 4 is that the housing out here is dated. You're going to be shocked at what you get for the money, and most people coming into San Diego start immediately with sticker shock. Now, it's gonna depend on what type of market you're coming from, but if you're coming from San Fran, you might think we're relative or cheap in some cases. But if you're coming from the Midwest or anywhere else in the country, you're gonna be like, wow, the housing is expensive, and what I get for that, and it's not even done up or rehabbed, that's insane. One of the things that you have to realize is that the housing is probably not gonna be, well, depending on your price point. People are like, this thing needs to be updated. That's very normal for San Diego because a lot of the housing and a lot of the infrastructure was built back in the day, and therefore there's a lot of older homes on the market. Now that could be a benefit because if you have the skills to go ahead and buy something and put some sweat equity into it, and that makes a great investment. That's what I would actually recommend in most cases. Number 5, know the school system. Coming from a different state, the school systems out here are totally different. As a matter of fact, the schools are different. When I first saw my kids' first school they went to, I was like, what is this, a bomb shelter? Because the entire school was literally outdoors. And I'm like, where are the hallways? And it's sort of cool in a sense too. They're not very updated. And you'll see that some of that infrastructure, you'll be like, whoa, I'm not sending my kid to that school. But a lot of the schools are good. You're gonna wanna do your homework on that. But be prepared to be shocked when you see the schools. None of the schools here, if you have kids, are like a school. They're all outdoors, which is sort of cool, but it was just shocking to say the least. Number 6, the food here sucks. At least coming from Chicago, I thought the food would be great. I thought the tacos would be great. But here's what I found out, which is really interesting. Personally, I don't like the tacos here. We researched this for like 2 years. Tacos are a big thing here, and I like all tacos, but I like Chicago tacos better. And what I found out was interesting enough is that the Tijuana Mexican food has quite an impact on this market, because if you do study in Mexico where people make tacos, or different parts of Mexico, they're made in different ways. So we're in Chicago, we had a lot of tacos that were very central, like Michoacan, which my father's from, based. But here you're gonna get a lot of Tijuana style tacos. The meat's different. They pour like a boatload of guacamole on it. And I remember going out to eat for the first few times, I'd be like, dude, this food sucks. My wife said the same thing. So if you're a big foodie, don't get me wrong, there are good restaurants, but it's not gonna be your New York. It's not gonna be your Chicago. And that's just some of the stuff that you're actually gonna see. Next, your wardrobe will most likely get limited. Now, I say this because we're coming out of a 2-year COVID craze, but honestly, like in the summertime, I'm wearing sandals and shorts every day. And actually it's relatively accepted. Like North Face, I didn't even used to wear these brands before I came out here. And you'll see like you have, I call it my uniform. It's accepted. Like you go to work in sandals, like people are like, cool, it's just part of the lifestyle. You will need a pair of sandals, and you're just going to go ahead and see that in general. And last but not least, what I was most shocked about was my overall actual budget. You're gonna want to look at your cost of living and factor in all different things, because I didn't do this. So for example, groceries tend to be more expensive here than they were back home. Gas obviously is more expensive than it was back home. But you're gonna see that in a lot of different categories. So when I say the cost of living, it's not just in real estate, it's gonna be in taxes, it's gonna be anywhere you buy anything. And it's something that you're just gonna have to get used to, but I highly, highly recommend that you work on that budget before you make that move. Don't do what I did, because you'll be surprised generally when you get here. And that first month, the payments and your price adjusting starts adjusting to what things are here. Promise you it will start feeling normal, but at the very beginning you might be like, this sucks, and it will. But anytime that happens, guess what? I just go outside, I look at a palm tree, and I'm like, all right, that's cool, yeah. And all of a sudden I'm not mad anymore. So there you have it. Those are the things I wish I knew before I moved here. Again, guys, if you have any questions about making that move, anything you need to know, please go ahead and feel free to reach out and ask. I've chalked up so many different learning experiences and show you exactly how it works. So if you have any additional questions, feel free to reach us. You're Real Estate Dudes. We help people relocate all the time into San Diego, but go ahead and make sure you subscribe to the channel and check out some of the other videos if you really want to know more about San Diego, and reach out to our team. We'd love to speak with you and help point you in the right direction. And who knows, maybe we could actually help you find your next house as well. Thanks for watching. This is Mike Cuevas, your Real Estate Dude with Big Block Realty. See you on the next video. Bye.